Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Printing's Alive with me, your host, Warren Werbitt. And today we have a special guest. Yes, all of my guests are special because anyone in this world of print is special. You have to be special to be in this world of print. And today we have Doug Laxdal from the Gaz Company. How you doing, Doug?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you.
Cool. So I invited Doug on because I met him last week at the Canadian Print Awards. Hopefully it'll be last week when this podcast comes out. But met him at the Canadian Print Awards, which was a great evening, by the way. And thank you to Print Action if you're listening. But Doug kind of cleaned up with a few awards, right? And before I get into the awards, Doug, why don't you just tell us a little bit about the Gaz Company, which, by the way, I think is an awesome name considering you're in the world of print and nobody would think of it. So tell us a little bit about what you do, but more importantly, tell us where you came up with the Gaz Company name.
Oh, I had long thought of this name kind of when I was in university before I started it. And I thought, you know what, this is a good name for a company, like to start a company with. And it stands for Graphic Art Specialties. And it describes what we do very well. So we don't do we don't do just one thing at all. It's really, what I like to tell my clients is if it has crop marks, we'll do it. And frankly, we'll do a lot of other things that don't have crop marks too.
So what do you do? Okay, so let me just first tell everyone what the awards were. You had Best of Show, you had Best New Entrant, and you had Best Promotional Merchandise, and those three fell under the project that you did. I'm just reading, that's why I'm not looking, is the Hellman's Garlic Aioli X, the Primal of Blood and Bone, which was pretty cool because it was like a mayonnaise bottle in a coffin.
I have it right here. If you'd like to see
one second. And then you had an honorable, then you had the Jack Diamond for pure pleasure, just for the bookbinding, which I'm sure you have right there too. Then you had an honorable mention of Thirsty Hummingbird, which I know you have right there with the others. So
I do.
Take a minute or two and just maybe rifle through them and just show us and tell us, what they are, because they're pretty cool.
Well, I'll start out with a Thirsty Hummingbird. Actually, I won't. I'll start out with the Jack Diamond book. So Jack Diamond, for many, many years, we worked with Diamond Schmidt Architects, printing their presentation panels. So 30 by 40 inch panels. In the beginning, I had an iris printer. In the late 90s, mid to late 90s. I had an iris printer, which, produced similar quality to an Epson aqueous printer these days. So it's super high quality photographic reproduction, prints on watercolor paper, plastic, specially treated plastic with a coating, and also proofing paper. And it was an incredible machine. And so I would produce their printed proposal panels that, we mounted onto half-inch gator. And, those projects, they'd call me up and they say, Doug, we have another project coming up. When would you like to get the files? And I'd always say 2 weeks before, please. And of course, it was like 60 hours, like, 2.5 days before. And it was really fun, actually, staying awake for 48 hours. It doesn't sound like fun, but it kind of is with all these folks. But Jack was a good friend of mine. I shouldn't say good friend. Jack is a fellow I worked with, and we were good work buddies. And I did tons of work with him. And he always called me the best printer in Toronto. I did pre-press and scanning on a book in 2008 that he had done. And he had all these little tiny drawings that he would sketch of people on meeting agendas, concert tickets, employee review sheets, all kinds of stuff. And I guess if he was in a meeting and he didn't like, if he got a little bit bored, I guess he'd start sketching. Anyway, I scanned all those 100 little drawings for the end papers of his book, and all the other artwork as well. And then I returned it all to his house, but he's like, Doug, where are those little drawings? And for years I'd never had them. I couldn't find them. And he every time I saw him, he'd beetle straight up to me. I'd say, I tore my studio apart, man. And then in COVID, my bookkeeper didn't have anything to do. So she cleaned out the filing cabinet, the lateral filing cabinet.
That's where she found them.
And she comes up and they had fallen down behind the drawers. And I'm like, ooh, So I made I made kind of a mea culpa book. I don't have it with me right now, but it's a book of all the projects that Jack and I had done together, and then beautifully bound, quarter bound cloth book, and I sent that to him, and he sent me back the drawings, but he was very sick at the time. He was an old guy, with this little note that said, like, make a book. And so and then he died a couple weeks later. And so I made this book, and the slipcase is black wet dry sandpaper, and laser cut. You can see how it fits together there. And I made a little publishing company, which I've called Burning Heart Press, which I've done a few books with now. And then the book itself has a very interesting binding, which is, as far as I know, there's nothing else like it, but I could be wrong because there's always something else like it. Which is the technique that I won the award for, I think. And this is 3mm acrylic that has miter cut edges with a little CNC. And then on the outside, there's a sheet of Arjo Wiggins Curious Matter paper. And this is intaglio engraving. That's foil stamping. And then on the spine is foil stamping.
How do you do that? Not that you're going to tell me exactly how. It just looks pretty cool.
No, I'll tell you. You can go ahead and try.
I'm not trying anything, right? But it looks pretty.
How do you do it? You just do it.
Just do it. And how many books did you produce?
Well, so far there's only 4.
Okay.
there's 16 more in production right now. I made this one. I made one for Jack's partner, Don Schmidt, Margaret Atwood, who we kind of all know, and then we have there's another one around here as well. So 16 in production. We've only got the boards done for them. It's an edition of 20. They're incredibly difficult to manufacture.
And what's the cost of doing something like that?
I don't even think about that.
So this was done just as a heart project, like a project of emotion.
Yeah, because Jack died, so there was no money. The Fisher Rare Book Library, we're talking about them buying one right now, so that would offset the cost.
Oh, cool! Made that great idea, great book. Very cool, very cool. Wow, it's I guess when your heart's in it, it doesn't matter what it costs, right? When it comes to print.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
It's a personal. I do lots of personal projects like this. That there's no money. But I want to try out these processes, and I had this idea for this kind of very architectural style of binding. That closes up with 45-degree miters. I wanted to do that, so this was a great project to do it with.
So everybody listening should know, because if they're going, wow, where does this come from? You originally come from the bookbinding world.
I moved to Toronto from Winnipeg, to go to commercial photography at Ryerson. By the second year of school, I was so into computers, like Macintosh graphics computers, still 1-bit or grayscale. And so pretty rudimentary, like with Photoshop 1.0 and Illustrator 1.0. So into that, I just spent 10 hours a day playing around with that stuff. And then I graduated. I did a year of being an account rep at a major photography studio, kind of where I learned how to operate in the business world a little bit. And then I did a year at a company called Global Film Services, which is owned by Transcontinental. And that was, yeah.
That's way back when, right?
Yeah. And I, you know what, I just had enough of that one day. I got in my car, drove downtown, started driving around the downtown core, was around, found a building at Ontario and Richmond, called the landlord, rented it, and started looking for equipment. And I bought a lot of equipment. There was a receivership sale for a large, like 50,000 square foot color separation film house.
Best way to buy.
Yeah, best way to buy. Yeah, absolutely. Best way to buy when the office manager says you can have anything in the shop if you can give me enough money to pay these last 5 guys because the receiver's coming next week.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah. That's where I got that Dynapone screen scanner from with the Mac interface. That changed my world. And I did that. And I ran gas company there with some employees. I bought an image setter, proofing frame, ended up buying a DuPont waterproof proofing system, which was just gorgeous. And then a Latran proofing machine, which was really amazing.
We used to have the Chromalins, whiwhich were like a fortune.
Oh yeah,
but there's beautiful color. But
we didn't do Chromalins. Yeah, they're those were certainly gorgeous. For you can mix up Pantone colors and metallics and all that kind of thing. There's really no proofing system like it today.
But they charged for it.
They charged for it.
Pretty good.
And then I met some friends in the business, and there was a bookbinding company called Anstey Bookbinding that I had an opportunity to buy, a partnership in, and I did that. Got along really well with my partners, and which was great, and started selling bookbinding out of at Richmond and Ontario location. We then I started putting in. I bought a laser cutter, and like my employees, like I bought at the time it was a pretty big one, and my employees are like, "Are you out of your mind? What are you doing? What are you going to do with that?"
I've heard that one before.
We just started making stuff, right? And and then we the building became a condo. We moved out 5 minutes from my house, which is great. We're kind of out near High Park.
Mm-hmm.
And we have 3,500 square feet here. And we just started which was way more, double the room that we had before. And Jeremy Martin, our special projects coordinator, and I just went around, okay, buy a foil stamper, buy another foil stamper, buy another foil stamper, get a bigger guillotine cutter, get a this, that, and the other thing.
It doesn't end.
Equipment. Yeah, it doesn't end. And a lot of the work that we do is people want stuff tomorrow or at the end of the day, like a completely like sewn, you know, big book sewn
And you do
with
that at the
cloth
end of the
cover.
day?
We can get it done by the end of the day.
How many books? Depends on how big.
One,
One.
one, one or well, we always make two or three, and we give them the best one.
Wow. One.
Um,
So
but yeah,
so what do you charge for something like that? Because you stop what you're doing, right?
thousands.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't
Yeah,
looking for a number. What I was looking to hear was, oh, we charge and we make money and the customer's happy to get what they
okay,
get.
yeah. Oh no, the customer, like the books are always beautiful. But that's the kind of thing we have to close the shop to get that kind of thing done, right? And that and so that we have to put everything else aside,
But
and
I'm
two
gonna
people.
sorry, I'm gonna make the assumption though, if you're doing that for one customer and you're reaching out to the others are appreciative always of the call that you have to stop something or might ask for a delay, but you're doing it for everybody. It's not just for one, right? You do whatever has to be
Yeah,
done.
no, it's for everybody. Yeah.
So no, I think that's great.
W- Almost all of our clients are advertising agencies or
Mm.
architecture firms or art galleries.
Oh, art
A lot
galleries
of
are good.
yeah.
So they all come to you. So it sounds like they come to you because they're in need of a item that you could produce, and they're not wasting time running around, and the cost of doing that's cost more than anything they're going to save if anyone could actually do what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, we also, a very large part of our business is also retouching and color correction.
Still,
Yeah, for ad agencies.
wow,
And,
I didn't
two
even know.
weeks.
I don't even hear about films. I don't hear about retouching anymore. I know so many people who started off that way, right, and charging $200 to fix a scan, or $300, and then it
Sure.
just kind of the camera came on, and then everything just kind of went whoop.
Yeah, we do, tons of stuff for Tim Hortons, um, for their out of home, or billboards and transit shelters, things like this. We do everything for the National Ballet, and have for 20 years almost.
Wow.
Yeah. Um, this kind of thing. And for art galleries, what we're doing is we're doing color correction. So their images are coming from all over the place. So we do what I call harmonizing, which is we kind of make them look like they were all, part like shot together. And then we do the proofing, and we do final output PDFs, final print ready PDFs.
I'm smiling because that sounds like a good margin account, right?
It's great.
Yeah, no, and
Yeah.
I'm excited because, and you know what, for everybody listening, and this is part of the reason that Doug's on here is because I want you to hear. Not once did he talk about competition. Not once did he talk about anybody else other than what they do and the customer. And I think more of you need to get your head wrapped around that and worry about you and not what's going on around you, and worry about what you have to do to make your own money. I mean, because that's the thing that makes me the craziest in this business, right?
Yeah.
Everyone racing to the bottom line, everybody spending money on equipment. Sounds like you've done some good purchases. Sounds like you've got different equipment. Seems that you've made a niche into an area. And I know everyone says get a niche, but everyone can find a niche. And there could be some people with the same niches, but if you call it a niche and you're in it, you're charging. I can't
Yeah.
stress enough for printers to charge because our business is so capital intensive.
Yeah.
And the only reason the margins are so low is because of other printers, not because of customers.
Yeah. I don't know any other printers other than, one or two. I don't check in on the industry. This is the first time I've ever entered an awards show.
And you did pretty good.
And I did pretty good. Yeah. We did pretty good. But the retouching, we do well with that. Our head retoucher, Jeff Hale, he's been with me for 30 years. He started when he was 17.
Wow.
Yeah. He walked in.
You're dating us. You're dating us.
I was so I was so busy. I called George Brown, and they sent Jeff over at lunchtime, and I said, "Okay, you're not going back to school," and he didn't.
Funny, and he's
That's
still there. That's a good.
been
That's a
working
good
for
one.
me since. And he is such an incredible retoucher and digital guy, and just anything he can
And the agencies are
he
still
can
doing a
tackle.
lot of retouching,
Um,
or is it for
they
certain things?
it's for certain
Okay.
things. It's for certain things. Um, it it's very hard to get into an agency to do that.
Well, you're not going to today. I don't think. I think you got to. They got to know you, or you got to be in. Right.
They have to hear about
It's
you.
old school though. Retouching. That's not a thing. A new. Right.
There's quite a bit going on with retouching.
But
Yeah,
I'm saying it's an
like
old school people from the
yeah,
days
yeah,
of
yeah.
today.
Oh,
Today,
exactly.
I was at a photo studio. The photographer takes a shot and then takes the mouse and curves up on the picture to adjust his colors.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
And
yeah,
most are accepting that today.
yeah. No, our we're masking pieces off to color correct just individual portions. Like we got a job in last week um, from a Toronto agency that is a multinational, and um, their offices from other cities send stuff to us.
Cool.
Like we got a job in last week for a Miami for their Miami office, um, and it's like 10 straight days of work. It's they had their retoucher down in Miami do it,
And they didn't do a
and
good job.
they pulled it and gave it to us. Yeah,
Awesome. Awesome.
yeah, and the with something like Tim Hortons, we're doing a ton of work to to meet the creative director's outline and expectations.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah,
all little with their
yeah.
expectation. You can't say it because they pay you. They don't pay me. I could say it. All those designers are whack jobs, which is
I don't
fine.
say
They
that
get
just
creative, eh?
yeah. I don't say that just because I don't want them to hear me say it. I understand the level of um, the level of quality that
Hmm.
they are looking for, and I never let myself call them too picky.
Right. Okay.
As architects,
Oh no.
you work with
Listen. You're
architects.
all anyone that
Yeah,
comes from a creative design. It could be interior design. Also, it doesn't have to be print.
you're right.
It's the creative slant on
Yeah,
it, right? So nothing bad against anyone. It's just how
no,
they
no,
see things.
yeah.
We see things
And like this
differently.
Jack Diamond book, like we produced this ourselves. I was basically the creative director, and the number of times I went back to my people in the back of the shop here and said, "This isn't any good. We have to redo it." And nobody says anything, so at
Well,
least
because
while
they're not
I'm
going to
around.
argue with
But
you, but
well,
that's what it is. But if you see
yeah,
it,
they want it. They everybody here wants it to be amazing too.
how many people you have working in the office plant?
Four,
What?
four.
Hang on.
Jeff,
That
Jeremy, Layla, and Hall, and me.
that's four with whatever equipment that you're running and cutting and binding and
Yeah,
four.
all out of crappy old equipment. Yeah,
Wow. So you have
except for the cam.
rather unique business then.
Yeah, yeah, I would
There's
say
nobody
so.
replicating you that I could think of.
I don't know of any shop like this. No.
Wow, cool.
Yeah,
Wow, cool. Okay,
and
let's talk about the main prize that won the four prizes
sure.
or three
Um,
because when you say that you have equipment and you do things and then I saw it, for me it was completely off the charts. The
sure.
concept, the design, the putting together. So, tell us from where it came into the production of it.
This project.
Yeah.
So an account director. The I think he's maybe the global account director for Hellman's, from Edelman Advertising, called me and he says, "We want to make a book that smells like garlic.
And it
Can you do
does.
that?" And it does. And like without even, I was like, yeah, how hard can that be? And so the book came in, the project came in, and I'm like, okay, what's I'm thinking, okay, we can maybe put it inside this. It's a hardcover book. We can maybe put it, inside the spine, underneath the cloth hardcover. And I thought, you know what? The way to really make this cool, I'm going to make the ink out of garlic oil, pigment, and printing varnish. And I did. Here I have the thing right here. It's so heavy.
When I saw it on the screen at first, when they gave you the award, it like just looked so little. And then when I saw it on the table,
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, that's pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty big. And it's super heavy. Laser engraved Hellman's ribbon on the front.
Wow.
And then the lid comes off. And inside, there's this custom shrink sleeved Hellman's Craven Proof garlic aioli that I got one of the shrink resource label graphics here in Toronto to make those for us. Of course, that requires a pretty big machine. And then here's the book. This one's shrink wrapped. Just a second, it still stinks, even with the shrink wrap on.
Yeah, when I went by it and I walked away, I was like, okay, now I smell like garlic. Better watch where I'm going.
Yeah, no, it's pretty stinky. So obviously we're not printing the entire book, Blood and Bone without shrink wrap. We're not printing the entire book with garlic ink. I came up with the idea of doing an ex libris. Thank you. Which an ex libris is it's a tipped on separate piece of paper, and so that is what's printed with garlic ink, and it's really, really stinky.
Yes, it is. I agree.
It's garlic essential oil, which comes in a aluminum canister with a triple seal that you have to like tear off, one and then a second and then another, and you have to use this special kind of pipette to get it out.
That's how smelly it is.
So rank.
Yeah.
And then so that's the book. These are the coffins. We only did 50 coffins. We did 1,000 books. This is water jet cut automotive foam. So this is from the automotive industry.
Right.
It's thick EVA foam that's been cut with a water jet. And then we printed the little information cards as well. The book itself, the dust jacket I did, it is litho, 5-color litho with metallic integrated into the color separation. So you take the CMYK, you take the black channel, and then you make the black channel into a duotone. And then metallic ink, if you're not reflected in the light, has a gray value of approximately 35% halftone black. And so you create your duotone with as though you had an ink that was about like warm gray 5, which is equivalent to, cool gray 5, which is approximately equivalent to 35%. And then that becomes the metallic channel. And then the black channel is just the other part of the duotone. And it also has embossing and a gloss foil. You can kind of see there. So embossing and
I'm
gloss
just in
foil.
awe that your customer went all out like that.
Oh
Because
yeah,
you've got everything. You've got that's like a Christmas
it's got
present. That's a
everything.
Christmas present for a printer, right?
Yeah, it was a pretty cool job. And you know what? Every time I said, like, well, we should do a coffin with purple velvet. Yes, let's do it. Oh, we should do a 5-color metallic color separation printed with, let's do it. Um, Everything was, and then I came up with the idea of they loved the making the ink out of garlic. They
Oh
loved
God!
that
Well, you're
idea.
using
They
their own
just they just
stuff
wanted
basically,
a
right?
book that smelled like
So it's
garlic.
good.
So when I said, you know what, I'll make the ink out of garlic, they were and that's actually a huge feature on on Hellman's website and on the advertising agency's website. I also shoot all the behind the scenes videos,
Oh, cool. So you're
which
giving
we
them
do enormous amount. We always do behind the scenes videos for interesting projects, and then I also did the principal photography for the advertising campaign, which it's kind of a dark background with dramatic lighting and smoke machine and this kind of stuff.
so
It's
like when you quoted the job or got the job and gave them a price. I don't even know if it's a quote system. Um, Photography's extra. Like that's just part of the whole package that you offer, or you do it separate.
for that client, they'll ask us for a ballpark, like what they call a high level cost,
Right.
um, and that usually covers it. Or
Cool.
they'll tell me what their budget is. They'll tell me what their budget is, and they'll say, They'll ask me, what can you do for this much money? And then I'll tell them, and I'll try to make it as much as
Well, you
not as
fill it
much
up as
money,
much as
but
you can that you make money, but they get a whole lot of
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. I'll make the
Wow,
project
love it.
as fantastic as I can, and still do well on it. Yeah.
Wow, that's great because then they're thrilled with you and they trust you, and you get to make money, which is important in the world of print.
It is mandatory.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm. That's what I'm preaching to everybody. Like, you
Yeah.
don't give
It's
it
what
away. The
makes the
whole. I
world
always say that the
round.
whole world needs us, and without print, the world doesn't operate at any
That's
level.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my march that I'm taking everybody on.
Yeah. It
And
was shipping these to the US that was the hard part because it
oh my
wasn't
God.
Canadian, it was a US job. Yeah.
And so,
Shipping this garlic aioli across the border. Oh, the paperwork
what do you like?
to
Just
get it
because
across.
it's garlic in a vegetable or whatever.
It's a food product, so it has to have an FDA number. Um,
Wow.
it has to have a form, like there's a form to get it across the border, and that form only is valid for 10 days. And then what will happen is because of the tariffs, the customs would keep it in their warehouse for 15 days and the form would expire. So I'm like, it's just a bottle of mayo.
So what do you do? That's
Um,
a I'm a stuck thing.
well, we stopped using FedEx and started using DHL. Because I think FedEx, maybe we were flagged or something like that. And so we we started using some other carriers. We used a local courier here too that trucked them down to Buffalo and put them into FedEx or DHL or whoever he used, but just by taking them all across the border at once,
Right.
right? So each individual package isn't inspected.
Wow.
So those
Sounds
were
like just
some of
the
the
transport on
challenges.
a job like this is almost as
It
much
was
as the
brutal.
job, if not
It
more.
was really, it was quite something to get those, because we did 50 of the coffins, we did 1,000 books, and we did 1,000 shrink sleeve bottles of mayo, and the mayo had to come to us from the States because it has to be American mayo, not the Canadian
It's
is a
not the
different
same.
ingredients.
Right.
It's not the same. and then it had to go back. And yeah, it was quite something to get that to happen.
Wow. But you also have the support of your customer throughout all of that as well, as opposed to the customers who just say,
Yeah,
get it there, and
you
then they
know
want to
what?
kill you.
No, the customers are they're pretty cool. Um, and they have, you know what? They know what they're doing. The clients, and they know what they're doing, and they take all this into account. The likelihood of this happening or the
Right.
possibility of this happening, they take it all into account. And the folks here, um, we're always pushing as we're not going we're going like, okay, let's get this stuff across the border. Um,
How happy was your customer winning the award?
oh, loved it. Loved it. Yeah.
Were they there with you or no?
No, no, no. They've got this will be winning awards
Everywhere.
at advertising and design, right? Um, Competitions. Not they're less interested in the printing award, but they
Oh
were very
yeah,
happy. They were very happy that it won. Yeah.
3 times. So that's a good start.
Yeah, 3 times. Yeah. Yeah,
Wow,
exactly.
wow, wow, wow. Um,
Yeah.
would this rank as one of the crazier, harder projects that you've done?
Yeah, I would say so. One of them.
What's another one? I'm
This
just
Jack
curious as to
Diamond book
how.
was.
Oh, so all the
This
same.
wasn't easy. This wasn't easy. Oh, in 2023, we did a copy of Margaret Atwood's Handmaid's Tale. One single copy. And the agency, Rethink, the producer called me and she says, "Oh, you know what, Doug, we've got a project we're doing. Actually, we were doing it with another printer and it's not working out." She said, "Do you have any
Those are your
ideas?"
favorite
We want to make,
calls.
no
No, because
question.
then you get to charge what you want.
Yeah,
I know everyone's listening. It's not like I'm trying to say rip the customer off. It's just I get so excited
no,
when we have an opportunity because they
yeah,
need us and they're going to pay
yeah,
us and they're not going to take us down.
yeah. In this case, I didn't charge an outrageous amount. It was, she said, "Do you know we want to make a book that cannot be burned."
How do you do that?
It's called The Unburnable Book. Um, well, at the same time, right at that time, there's a material called cinefoil. It's an aluminum foil. It has a black chemical coating on it. It's not paint. It's a chemical treating, which makes it black. And it also comes in white. And it's aluminum foil that's used to wrap around hot movie lights.
Mm-hmm.
So actors don't get burned on a movie set.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I was working with a director of photography, a friend of mine, and he's an artist and he uses this cinefoil for making his art. And I was over at his place and I said, "Oh, you know what? Can I take some of this and try printing on it?" And so only like 2 days before, I worked on printing on it with our Oki, our Oki 941, which can print white. So it can also print black. And so we cut this aluminum foil down into 13 by 19 sheets. And I had success printing on. And the moment that producer called me from the agency, it's like, I know exactly how I'm going to do it before I got off the phone. So it was printed on aluminum on this white foil. It was sewn with nickel wire that I used to snare gophers with back in Saskatchewan. It had a stainless steel fabric ribbon that just felt like regular cloth, this stainless steel fabric. And also the mull on the back of the book binding used Captain tape, which is the tape. It's a heat tape that you use to put stamping dies up onto a foil stamper.
Mm-hmm.
And once it melts, once it adheres, it doesn't let go. You heat it up, it melts, adheres, but if you heat it up again, it won't come off. And then the boards for the book binding, the cover boards, were a material called phenolic, which is kind of, they use it in electronics. It's a heat-proof material. So that was a big deal for us because that got absolutely global attention. And then after that, we were getting called. We just got called like crazy for books, crazy books.
Love it. Oh my God. Love it. So do you have people selling on the road, or are you where people just
No,
know you and
yeah, I mean, the work just comes in. I don't have any sales staff. I guess I'm the salesperson
for the last 30
um,
years?
for the last 30 years, but rarely do I'll go down to agencies to show them proofs, or occasionally I'll go in with my two black cases. If an agency calls us and wants to see what we do. And then,
But you're not really selling,
but
because if you got a call and you go in, you put it on the table, it sells itself.
yeah, the work sells itself. Yeah.
Especially if they're thinking
Um,
something to be extreme or, on the high end
yeah.
of something.
Yeah. So we're actually working right now um, on an advertising agency board game where you can start out as Leo Burnett or Ogilvy or Cossette or BBDO, and each player gets a little character with the logo on it, and then you'll get a card. You take a card from the pile, and it'd be like a producer card. So a mistake that a producer might make, or something really good that a producer might
Wow.
do, or a card like you draw a card. It's like, oh, the summer intern you just hired and nobody seems to like. Turns out that she's the favorite niece of the executive assistant to the chief creative officer of Coca-Cola. Move ahead 10 spaces, right? This kind of thing. And so we're putting that together and designing that all. My daughter and I. My daughter works for me.
Cool.
She'll, and my son, who used to work here up until a few months ago, he now works for one of the agencies that is our client. But he's really into board games and Dungeons and Dragons and all this. So the two of them are kind of coming up with the gameplay. I'm kind
Oh,
of
awesome.
making sure everything's going well. Um, yeah, so that's some of the kind of that's another I don't know, like money. How do I make money off that? But it's cool. So
Yeah. Oh my God. First of all, everything you do is so cool. And I love the fact that it's
thank
in
you.
the world of print, but it's not the common world of print, right? It's not the standard world. It's
No,
off the beaten track, doing really cool things that people like, people appreciate, and people want.
yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah. The
no, I was gonna say, I guess every customer that you deal with must be a good experience because they're waiting, probably with bated breath for what you're gonna finish. Where in general printing, nobody really gives a rat's ass for the book, the brochure, or whatever it is you're shipping over, right? In the box.
No, you know what? Some days, I wish just couldn't I get a job for 50,000 over four flyers?
Because you wouldn't be happy.
Really?
You wouldn't be happy, right? You
Oh,
got
it
you
might
got
be.
you got to watch what you wish for.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um, yeah. So, we just finished uh, a job for San Pellegrino. I don't think I'm allowed to talk about it.
No,
Sorry.
you're probably better off
We
not.
made bottle labels. They're bottle labels.
Right.
Pretty cool bottle
Wait till they're
labels.
out, then come back and tell me,
Yeah,
and
I'm
then we
not
can
I'm
talk
not
about it.
exactly sure that's hit the market yet. So,
Yeah,
but we
check with
do
them.
we do a lot of um like wine bottles. We do this is
Is it
Spy Cider. We do their
so
labels.
like when you
Double
when you
double
do the
sided.
labels, do you get the bottles filled with whatever the product is?
Uh, Spy Cider's right by our cottage, so
Right.
I usually end up driving up there, and they usually throw me
Perfect.
one.
Excellent.
This is kind of I don't know if you can see it on, but it's
Says subjective or something. It looks like spot
it
UV or
does, but what happens here?
braille-like almost.
Yeah, what happens here? You can kind of see it if I put my phone right up to it.
Wow, love it.
But when it's like this, all you see are a field of dots,
Correct.
right? You can't see through the text. And so as the red bottle of red wine goes down,
You see
you
the
can then read the thing. And so that is it's a square of foil stamp of just black gloss foil, and then it's laminated in between two sheets of paper, and the and then laser cut with those little holes.
small job. Easy
Yeah,
job. Easy job, no?
that was no, that was
No,
super hard.
I'm joking. Easy. Anything with little holes is never easy.
Yeah, and that was a winner at the Cannes advertising award in France, which is kind of the biggest advertising award.
Yeah.
Of course, we didn't win the award; the designer won the award.
Right. Did you get a
Yeah.
mention at least?
Probably not.
Okay. Well, if you send me the info, I'll mention it when I put up the
Sure.
podcast.
Sure.
So you get a little bit of recognition.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, I said, like, if you send me the information, I'll put it up on the podcast so we get you a little bit more recognition.
Sure. Yeah.
But that's cool.
I got all kinds of stuff.
Wow, man. That was like, so time has flown
This,
by, but that has been the my longest time sitting and looking at projects that, like, I've never seen. And I'm super thrilled to see what you're doing in the world of print. Not high volume,
Thanks.
customer satisfaction, margin made for the printer, employees happy with what they're doing. I don't hear anything wrong with what you're doing. It sounds like win-win for everyone.
I'll tell you one thing. Because the stuff we do is so one-off. Well, not so one-off, but so
unique.
I guess unique. Nobody knows what it's supposed to cost.
No,
there's nobody else.
I know,
right?
I know. That's the niche. Listen, I have a friend in the US who does a lot of printing for some of these companies that require it overnight for presentations and financial stuff and whatnot. And those guys also, when those customers need it, a book, $100 or $5,000 doesn't matter when they're doing $100 million deal.
And that, that happens all the time with the architecture firms. The moment it's always 100% charge, always.
Well,
because they say, they say, how long do you need? I'll say 2 weeks, and they'll come to me, a day and a half or 2 days before. It's like, I've got to stay up for 60 hours. I can't do any work for a day or two after that. I mean, I'm sleeping, right? So that has to get factored in. And it needs to be done absolutely perfectly, but it's a $700 million project.
Right. So they've already spent $7 million on legal and lawyers and stuff, right? And I think, and I say that because in our world of print, I think more of the print owners, when they're doing things, have to think like that and know the customer and what they need and the value of the job at the end, because people are haggling or lowballing on $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 jobs. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. We did this book for Diamond Schmidt Architects for the Lincoln Center in New York proposal. This one's a blank book, but I did make I silk screened the end papers myself, and I made the ink for it. It's a metallic, so I make inks out of dry pigment powders
and garlic,
garlic sometimes, and in this case, UV silkscreen varnish, and I made that. I silk screened them myself. The building is made of a limestone called travertine. The Lincoln Center in New York is travertine, and they wanted a book that looked like travertine. So I got this cork veneer, this Portuguese cork veneer that's on a paper backing. And then I painted it white with white house paint, and then latex house paint, and then just rubbed it off as hard as I could. And it came out looking just like travertine, which is pretty cool.
Next time I'm in Toronto, I'm coming by your place because I am in just awe. I'm in awe of everything you're doing. It's so cool, and just everything you touch in the world of print.
Check this out. This got the honorable mention. I should have included a bottle of water with it.
Is that like invisible ink?
It is called hydrochromic ink.
That's and if anybody that's the heating, right? Is that the heating?
No, this is that's
thermocratic. Yeah,
this is hydro, which is water.
I never even heard of that.
So much research to do this. We first tried on Tyvek, that didn't work, and then I moved to Yupo, which is a plastic paper, and that worked, but we printed it with conventional inks, and now the bag, it ships. I don't know if you can tell here if there's any air bubbles in this, but this is full of water. This book is in water.
No way. Wow.
Way. Yeah.
Wow. Whoever gets it is kind of like, what the hell?
Yeah. So they have to. This is a heat seal here. They have to cut off the heat seal, and then take it out, and then just lay it open on the table, like standing up, and it will dry out. And then once it dries out, you can no longer read it. This got the honorable mention.
That should have got the award.
Well, I probably should have put a bottle of water in.
So they know what it was. So they know what it was, or a little video.
I'm not sure they knew it.
No, I'm like, wow, that's just wow.
That's a pretty cool one. I got some other inks. I just kind of worked on an ink. I don't have it around, unfortunately. It's silkscreen ink. You put it on black paper, and when you touch it, colors radiate out from your fingers. But I'd have to.
Well, if you want to put together a whole bunch of stuff, I'll have you come on another podcast to go through it. No, because sure. I'm sitting here in awe, and I've been at this a long time, and you've just put 3-4 things out there that just make me go, right? Give me a whole lot of other ideas for a whole bunch of people that they could be trying different things to set themselves apart, because that's what we have to do in this industry. And I think you've done an amazing job of
thank you.
Setting yourself apart, and you don't do anything normal in the world of print. I'm not insulting anybody. It's a good thing.
No,
it's a good thing.
Well, there's too much competition if you do normal, right? I'll show you I'll quickly.
Okay, last thing, because then we're going to cut it. But I can go on for 2 hours with you. The idea of price, quality, and service is nonsense, right? Like, it's been like that for 30 years, and it's all ridiculous. I used to say just pick 2 because you can't have 3.
No. So I'm working on a book right now with some major Canadian authors. And so what the intention is, I've taken their typewriter, I've got their typewriters. This sheet here is off of Margaret Atwood's IBM Selectric typewriter.
Oh my!
Which we had for a few months, and so the intention is, I worked out the spacing and the leading of the type, of the typewriter. I found the font for computer on in Adobe InDesign. So design the entire book. So it's a section book with a hardcover, and lay it out in InDesign using the font, the spacing, and the leading of the typewriter, and then print on it. And it's illustrated. So these are not the illustrations that they'll be. I just picked some placeholder images. and then print the images on. We have these crop marks. This is an early version of crop marks that we were using. And then here's a test we've been working on. And then the black text gets filled in by the author's typewriter, right?
Wow.
And here we have a old IBM Selectric right there.
That's
Working
amazing.
on.
I don't even remember the last time I saw a typewriter.
It's not easy to get them going. I can tell you that.
A working one, yeah.
Also working on a robot to type on it.
Wow. Okay, that you're gonna have to come back and show us when it's done. So save it. All right, I got to cut you off because time limit. But oh my God! First of all, it was like I just asked you to come on like on the spot, and you said yes, and I'm most grateful that you did because you gave me so many things here that just like this. This is like print porn at its finest. This is like some of the most exciting stuff I've seen in print. So kudos to you.
Another thing. Almost always we service all our own equipment, except KM comes in, Louis comes in from Konica Minolta because it has a maintenance contract. But like I'm about to go level the bed on our Zund right now.
Because you're an old timer who gets it. Right?
I had my auto mechanics license in Manitoba after I graduated high school. So I have a lot of kind of tinkering
thing, right?
knowledge. I was a hot rodder as well.
And I'm going to say you're probably a little bit of a perfectionist.
Maybe a little bit,
just a teeny weeny bit, right?
Yeah,
wow.
Usually, yeah.
No, that's what I'm walking away with. Anyways, first of all, Doug, thank you so much for taking the time to come on and to share all this unbelievable, I'm in awe, but unbelievable, marvelous things you do. For printers that are listening, get off your ass and go think outside of the office. I won't even say the box, but go walk around, go think of something, do something different, show somebody different. Somebody out there will want it. And if they don't want it, they're going to love the fact that you're being creative, you're trying and you're doing, and then you can pick up their regular shitty work. I mean, that's how to do it. So, Doug, thank you. Love the name, the Gaz Company, by the way. That also,
sure, thank you.
You're firing perfect on all cylinders today. So, well done.
Great.
Right?
Thank you.
Everybody else who's listening, I hope you made it to the end. Let me know what you think. Let us know. I know I enjoyed it. I just said it. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to bring you things that are different whenever I can. Think more different, the better, right? More options and more things to think about and to offer your customers. So go out, be different. I love print. And remember that without us, the world does not run. Amen.